All right, so we're recording. My name is Marilen Crump, and I own the Art Inspired Center. We're based in Port Warwick, Newport News. I think last time I spoke to you guys, we were actually near here on Denby. But since then, we've moved over, and it's a bigger space. And I love the square because we have photography classes, too. And sometimes we do our workout classes outside in the square. So it makes a lot of sense. And then we just recently got our keys to our newest studio off of 17, where we're going to be expanding on our Ballroom Dance program. So, so join us and dance. And so that's right near Coventry, and Royal Farms is right in front of it. There's that new big building, and we're right there in that building. So the mission statement for Art Inspired is that we believe in the power of art through movement, creativity, inspiration, and wellness. So we have a daily wellness practice that we do. I teach most of the morning classes, and we have Colleen, who's part of this group, and she teaches on Wednesday nights. So you have to come check her out. And then we have paint classes. So some of our wellness programs incorporates the two things. So you get your wellness classes, and it includes your paint nights as well. Because, and what I'm going to talk to you about today, is that you have to be proactive in the way you live your life. No one else is going to live your life for you, right? So the decisions you make is going to be what sets you up for the next day, future, etc. And especially if you've gone through any kind of struggle, you really have to say, it's just me, right, in this body. And then when you're struggling through stuff, people can feel for you, but they can't feel what you're feeling, right? So part of art kind of helps express some of that kind of pent-up feeling. And what we're trying to do is maybe prior to you going through something, or just kind of saying, here's my life, I want to remember it a certain way. And our business is encouraging you to try new things, right? Whether it's going to be a new workout, or something artistic, or if it's a discussion group, we have those things there. Because to me, wellness isn't just going to the gym. It's community, right? It's positive experiences. And so it's something that you're going to be really pumped and happy to be approaching. So if you had your choice of how to fill your day, and if it's going to be with us, we want it to be a highlight of your day. But then we're trying to say, yes, you're learning it here, but how can you apply it in your daily life? How are you applying it at work, right? So who here works a regular 9 to 5? Right. So what are some challenges with that kind of like schedule for you? So any challenge as far as being able to be motivated and keeping your spirits up?
Just being active enough.
Being active enough.
Because most of the time you sit there for 8.5 hours staring at a computer screen.
Definitely.
And the Fitbit helps, but...
Right. So what kind of things have you tried weaving in? Or are you kind of at this point where you're like, I need to figure something out for myself?
I rigged a standing desk.
Oh, that's perfect.
Which
Standing
my boss
desk.
hates, but I don't care.
That's right.
So it gets up and you kind of have to move around. Instead of just sitting still, you move a little more.
Perfect. And so movement was part of our mission statement, correct? So what I want you all to do is stand up from your chairs. We're going to do some slight movement. And I'm going to tell you the purpose of what movement we're doing, okay? So first I want you to stand with your feet shoulder width apart, okay? And I just want you to shift your weight from side to side. So you're shifting all your weight on one side and then the other. But feel as you do that, okay, that your spine is also feeling elongated upward, okay? So what that does is gives your organs a little bit of a break. One thing about sitting a lot is that we're squishing our organs down and they have to work harder, okay? And then you feel sluggish because your body's kind of screaming at you saying, you need to get up and you need to move this body. So right here, we're swaying. And now roll your shoulders back for me. There we go. So before you sit for a long period of time, or even for this meeting, right, you should all do a group shoulder roll, okay? So roll it forward now. Very nice. Now, one thing that I like to do after the shoulder roll that helps warm up this area right here. I'm just going to shake my head no. Okay? What you want to be aware of is whether your shoulders rise up or not. Now, back to center with your head. Leave the jaw open. So it's not clenched. You're just going to relax through there. And then what we're going to do is this. Let your shoulders go limp. Bring your ear down to one side and stretch here. Very nice. Now, are you breathing as you're doing this? So make sure.
Forget to breathe.
Yeah, some people will forget to breathe.
Too many things.
And now lift up other side. Very nice. And that'll help the muscles here too. Okay? And now gentle roll around with the head, any direction you like, just nice and easy. And feel how that's connected to all these different ligaments. And now other way, relaxing the jaw. Very good. And back to center, like so. Perfect. And now just a little bit of a stretch with your arms coming up. Breathe. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Breathe in again. And out. Bring the arms back down. And now keep the rib cage lifted. Now you may have a seat and listen to the rest of the talk. Perfect. Now, as you're taking note of how that feels, how does your brain feel right now? Do you feel a little clearer?
Yeah. It's more active.
Perfect. So if you watch any other living creature on the planet, before they start moving, they'll stretch. If you have a pet cat or a dog, they'll stretch, right? And then right before they lay down, they'll stretch again and do that. I think we're so smart, and we're too smart sometimes for our own good, that unless we've kind of like worked it into a routine, we ignore some of our instincts, right? Our instincts should tell us, you need to drink water, right? But we ignore that. Our instincts tell us, you need more sleep, but we ignore that, right? And our instincts should also tell us to stretch, okay? So sometimes if you're feeling heavy in your head, think of your breathing first. First and foremost, I think a lot of times as we go through stress in our lives and how busy we get, we forget to breathe. And I'm not even joking. Like if I was to measure the amount of breath you can take in with your lungs, if you're really busy, you probably are a shallow breather. Okay, so like that. So what you want to always do is say, breathe check, morning, noon, and night per se. You can set little alarms on your phone or post-it notes somewhere. Say, are you breathing? Just ask yourself, are you breathing? And when you do that, I want you to breathe in and really kind of expand everything. So now try this. And then out. And believe me, your lungs will keep getting stronger and stronger the more you use it. Because is it empty? Is our lungs empty? No, right? It's filled with little tiny sacs of fluid. And how the chemical process works is that you have to engage all of it. So if you are a shallow breather, it's like muscle atrophy. Your lungs can have atrophy too. So if you're not using all your lungs, your body says, you only need half of it. Okay, then you have like a weak breath after a while. So if you're kind of taking some time, that's the best exercise. To me, you don't have to go to a gym. Just sit there and breathe, and it affects your metabolism as well. You know how when the doctor says, breathe for me, where is he listening?
Your lungs.
Sometimes behind you, right? So most of us think, I'm going to breathe right here. You're supposed to breathe into the back as well, and the sides, and the front. So there's a lot of movement. And guess what? There's a lot of muscles that help you do that, right? So then you're doing a muscle workout from that. So every Friday morning I teach a restorative yoga because, we're all working out, we're all being, busy. And then in the restorative yoga, it's this kind of talk. And it's this kind of practice where we're saying, just lay there. We're going to exercise, but it's a different kind of exercise. And it's the balance to everything, okay? So when you look at a pie chart of your week, how much of that are you taking for really true relaxation, right? Mm-hmm. So Sunday night we had a paint night, and I guess there was a big rainstorm in the middle of that, we didn't notice. So we were painting away, and we were playing 50s and 60s rock and roll. So everybody was like, do, 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 do. And, the comments afterward were, wow, I was really into my painting. And then you can watch, like I'm watching how they're breathing while they paint. And that's super interesting. And so last time I was here with you guys, we were talking about Zentangling and just doodling and things like that. Try picking up now a paintbrush. Because there's something about a paintbrush where you're choosing the strokes and the color. I can't do it for you, yet again, right? I can't breathe for you and I can't paint for you. But what's nice is that your expression comes out from there. But also, it's just a relaxing tool. Because some people were saying, well, now, I don't even mind if my painting was perfect or not. I just feel so good afterward, okay? So all these little tricks, and it's not really tricks, it's really just savoring it, right? Savoring life. So what are some hobbies you all like to do? Like, tell me, what do you choose to do? Gardening? Reading?
Yes,
Very nice.
reading. I'm trying to do the Sudoku.
Sudoku, yeah, I can't even do that yet. But that's great. That's great. So anything that's a challenge is great. Who's doing anything right now that's challenging? Like,
I finished the second book in the Outlanders.
oh wow.
745 pages.
Oh,
My
that
Bible.
is
That's
a
how big that
challenge.
book is. Yeah,
There you go.
It was a signed reading from my daughter and my granddaughter.
Oh,
I read
wow.
The first book in paperback, but the other.
You had hardback, so you were working out while you were reading that
Yes.
book as well. Perfect.
Yes, so that
Now,
was my challenge.
my last thing that I want to tell you is that challenges are healthy for you, right? I know sometimes we're faced with challenges that we didn't expect, but if you're, let's say, trying out a new workout. So I see this a lot especially when I teach Pilates, okay? I don't see this in my restorative yoga. Everybody's happy about that. But then they'll drag themselves into Pilates and they go, you want me to do what? Lift my leg here and hold it? And what happens is sometimes our brain gives us this huge threshold because it says, you're fine, stay safe. Oh, if you do that thing, it's scary. You might fall down. So it gives you all these stop signs, okay? Because the brain is trying to protect you. But your spirit has to be the one to say, okay, brain, you're being overprotective. I hear you, but let's try it. And what happens to that threshold? So the first day you try Pilates, you're like, I can't hold my legs up anymore. I'm shaking, I can't do it. But then you try again. And literally, if you try again within that first one, you'll feel that, oh, wait, I can do this. Because your brain goes, oh, nothing bad happened? Okay, we can do it again, and the threshold goes smaller, okay? And then it goes smaller. And using that very physical kind of manifestation of that lesson is very good. But what happens is when we have challenges, let's say it's finances, and it's not as tangible as that physical, we get scared. And that threshold's there, okay? So it could be a threshold for trying new things or going for a new job, trying to speak to someone that you haven't spoken to in a while. It's so much more scary at first, okay? But then you have to say, I just got to put myself in the game. And once you're in it, the threshold will shrink and shrink. And so it goes for physical, goes for emotional, and it goes for your habits as well. So think about that next time you're trying to motivate yourself to do it. I half believe in motivation, but most of the things that I believe in is inspiration. Okay? So find someone who inspires you, talk to them. Find something that inspires you and do that, and then say, because I'm doing that, I'm going to try this. Okay, so make a bridge and let it happen. So do you have any questions for me as far as name a challenge or name a curiosity? I love to kind of go around and just express something new. So, or creative. Or something you've always been curious about. Or what are you scared of the most right now? Anything? Tomorrow. Yeah, so tell me, why is tomorrow scary?
Well, you just never know. I mean, you have a plan in your head about what you think might happen, but
Yes.
something completely different might happen.
Ah, true. But you've
It's not
survived a lot
really-
of tomorrows?
Exactly.
Oh, that's perfect. So sense of humor is a big thing. So if you can find something to laugh about for tomorrow, okay? Sometimes we'll insert different, like, funny things that's supposed to happen tomorrow. Like, make it a point to, like, prank your husband or something. Then you're looking forward to tomorrow. Or your kids. They're pretty gullible. But see, they're not expecting it. When was the last time you pranked your kids? See? Now you're going to get super creative. I'm sure you can search on YouTube, like, how to prank my kids. So, but that's what I mean. It's like that whole adventurous part of yourself now, right? Because, I mean, I'm looking around, still super young here, tons of stuff happening, right? I was watching a study of people who live in Okinawa, and the women especially, most of them are like in their hundreds.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
They're still gardening, and they're, in the community vibrant, and they're just happy. Most of them, too, had lost spouses in the wars way long time ago, and they just have each other. And so things like this is what keeps them going as well. So you guys meeting on a consistent basis and kind of just saying, hey, what's important? Did I make you smile today? If we all went around the world, parking lots, restaurants, and just made people smile at us, I mean, gosh, wouldn't it be an awesome world? And then we'd be excited tomorrow because it's like, who gets a smile tomorrow? Like, this is super exciting. So what do you smile about? Anybody, like, something to share that's just super awesome that you just can't stop smiling?
My dog. Oh, you got it.
Oh, your dog, yay! How old's your dog?
14 and a half.
Oh, how cute!
He's
Perfect.
little and he's a cutie.
Yes. I love dogs. They're always smiling at you when you come in. So, So, but you were going to say something. That's...
Yeah, I was when I heard her speak about tomorrow, I wrote a poem similar about is my tomorrow today.
Oh, wow.
And I kind of live by the concept of my tomorrow being today, of not being fearful of going into tomorrow. And that kind of makes me happy knowing that I have to keep a brighter side today in order to get to tomorrow. So I start today, and that concept in my mind about making people happy, what can I think about that if today I didn't do something, complete a task today, doesn't mean that I can't continue on tomorrow. So that's what I think about, is my tomorrow today.
Wow.
And that's what my concept of tomorrow is.
And tomorrow is today.
Uh-huh.
Like today, right now, we're living from yesterday. So
Yeah, that's how I
interesting.
think.
I love that.
I think like that consistently, because I always think about how can I, I take you back, when we had State Lobby Day, and I was so happy to hear about it on, like, say, today, knowing that I was going to see her.
Oh, yay!
And so I get ready for that theme today for tomorrow, and that thing bubbles over on the inside to the point to where, like, how can I, when I see these people I haven't seen in a while, I feel like a little kid,
Yay,
getting
that's
ready
good.
for tomorrow.
That's
Today.
nice. Yeah, that's
So
perfect.
that's what I feel when, because me, a lot of people might not even remember my face because I work so much. But I had the pleasure of basically retiring December the 9th, very early retirement. So I was working on my tomorrow, like that moment of knowing it was coming, like that today, tomorrow. So I say to myself, how happy is it to know that, I have this free time now.
Yeah,
This free
that's
time
good.
now for things like this right here. So this is my tomorrow.
Yay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's
I can't
perfect.
help but think, we were at the beach this summer and
Yes.
we went to a seafood shop.
Awesome.
And the sign out there said, seafood free tomorrow.
That's right. Oh, and somebody was tricking people online today saying that they were going to go on this vacation and they wanted somebody to go with them. Did you see that one? And, they were also going to get, whoever gets to go with them gets like $1,000 shopping spree. But it's going to take place February 29th through the 31st. I was like, that is so clever. So great. So, well, thank you for letting me just kind of give you some insight. I hope you all would look up Art Inspired and see if we can hang out at the studio as well.
Would you tell us a little more about it? Do you
Yes.
join it, or what sort of thing is it?
We welcome drop-ins. We have a master calendar on artinspired.com. And so pretty easy to remember, artinspired.com. So if you click on Master Calendar, you'll be able to see everything. And we have drop-ins, we have punch cards for certain things, and then we have our full membership. So if you want to live there, that gives you the passport to live there.
So, are your classes charged, or how do you?
We have our empowerment talks on Saturday. That's free. We have different meetups that we facilitate. One is about our personal evolution guild, so people who are trying like new things and things like that. That's free to join that meetup, and we'll have different meetings. Sometimes we'll go to a field trip, and of course you just pay for your food, or if we're meeting for dinner or something like that. If it's a paint night, then we have passes that you can register for, just like any other paint night out there. Ours is family friendly, so if you need to bring a little one or a teenager, we don't serve wine or anything, because we do let you bring the little ones with you. And if you have a little one, and you're like, well, they're probably not going to pay attention to doing a paint thing, let us know in advance, and we set them up a little table, and they get to participate as well. Yeah.
Is it a membership?
No. We just give memberships to people who are trying to save money because they literally love everything that we're doing. And so we have the wellness programs. I mainly teach the weekdays and the Saturday mornings, and that time slot in the weekdays is 9 a.m. and it's 45 minutes, and then Saturday is 8:30 a.m. And there's also Jazzercise there. They're a national program. We host them, so some people will do Jazzercise and join us for other things, but we have our own standalone wellness programs that's different from Jazzercise, but we coexist. It's not a competition. We love all the ladies that come in. We have some guys, but it's mainly
Are you
ladies.
sponsored by somebody? I can't figure out how you make money here.
I do photography, and I do commercial photography. So some of my clients are like W.M. Jordan and et cetera, and I teach photography. So I think our photography track really covers a lot of the expenses, which is great. And then so that way we can keep our expenses low for other things. And us hosting certain programs, they'll pay us to use the floor as well. So it's very communal. We do have a nonprofit arm, and we use that for our art shows. And it's a 501(c), so anyone can donate towards that. And so it's art programs mainly for that, and centered around families and kids. And we're also co-sponsoring with Chick-fil-A, all the area Chick-fil-A's here. We're holding a daddy-daughter ball in April. So if y'all know any little ones who wants to go with their daddy, sometimes grandpas take the little ones because daddy's on deployment or an uncle, and that's fine as long as it's a father figure. But they get all dressed up, and it's nice because our company is very multifaceted. So we do the photography, we teach the ballroom dance, they learn how to waltz, and then we do some pre-events leading up to that as well. So, anything fun, we'll do it.
That's wonderful.
So I love answering questions. Any more about the studio, and who wants to ballroom dance? That's what I want to know. Yeah, because that's super healthy. To me, out of all the things that we do, I think ballroom dance is really, if you look at people who've been doing it for so long, and just how their bodies still move so gracefully, and just how sharp, mentally everybody is. Uh-oh.
I'm laughing because we've been on cruises
Oh,
and
yes.
they'll be dancing, and you can tell which ones are the second wives.
Oh!
Like an eighth of a step off because
Right.
they didn't take from the same studio.
Oh, that makes sense. That
So
makes sense.
It really shows, and you start watching for that. And
That's right. That's right. And to me, connection, like if you and your spouse get to do it, it's like the closest thing you'll ever get to work on together. I mean, you could work out together, but you still have that separation. But when you're dancing, there's a lot of trust that has to happen as well. So it's a pretty fun kind of thing to explore. So, and then of course there's so many types of ballroom dancing. So you really can fit the genre of music that you like. So if you like Latin, if you like blues, rock and roll, if you like very classical music, it's all there for you. Or disco. Don't forget disco.
So if someone, if I signed up and I didn't have a spouse or partner and I came, I still would be able to.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so we'll be linking because we have our grand opening. Y'all are more than welcome to come on the 25th of this month. And so you'll see if you're on our Facebook, we advertise a lot on that, but we try to also keep our website pretty updated so you know all the dates of when things are happening. You can always call me as well or email me, whatever's convenient for you. But what's nice is that we're rethinking the whole genre of ballroom, okay? Because what existed before and what continues to exist is, it's kind of that old Fred Astaire, Arthur Murray type of system where you have to you're very kind of limited on what steps you're being shown kind of thing. And now that doesn't make any sense because you got YouTube all over the place, right? So you can really learn on your own if you wanted to. Our goal, and especially me coming from a wellness point of view, you have to strengthen certain muscles. So if you want to be a swing dancer or a waltz dancer, there's your muscles that you have to pay attention to because there's lifting up on the toes, things like that. Endurance, posture is key, breathing yet again, and connection and being able to anticipate where to move next because so-and-so is over here and so-and-so is over there. You have to kind of maneuver, right? So, but also the social aspect of it as well, because sometimes you go to a studio and everybody knows everybody. You walk in there I'm by myself, I don't have a partner, and you might get to dance once in a while. So our system is going to be a little bit different where it's you will be the golden child if you're new coming in because we're going to empower you with some tickets, right? So what happens is this. For our socials, it's going to be under our nonprofit arm. So what that means is, let's say you want to become a member of that club, or I don't even know what we're calling it just yet, but it's going to be no more than $20 a month where you can come take a lesson and be able to social dance. But the goal is, if you're new, that you come in, you'll get different tickets so that if people like myself who've been there before know what we're doing, I'll have to ask you for a dance or show you something. And then it's up to you whether you want to give me a ticket, right? So then at the end, whoever collects the most, we'll have a leaderboard or something. So once you hit a threshold of tickets, we have different sponsors like Regal Theaters and things like that they said they'll be willing to donate a couple of movie tickets or something like that so people can earn some fun stuff by being nice. Isn't that great? So that's what we're really rethinking it because I said, if I had to put myself back into that position, how would I feel? Where everybody already knows each other, or sometimes people are afraid to share a spouse or a partner, whereas we want to foster just a different kind of community with that, just because dance is amazing to me. So anybody else? I could show you some dance moves right now.
You have paint parties?
We do. So use a group. If you wanted to do your own private paint party, you can certainly do that. And that's super fun. And you can bring whatever you want. It's your private party. So if you all want to bring wine, it's your thing, So you're just and then how we do it is usually a per person fee. And the more people you have, we of course drop the fee. This Friday, we're doing a fundraiser, so you can also do it as a fundraiser over at the Riverside Retirement Home over in Gloucester. I can't remember the whole full title because it's super long. But we're doing a beautiful painting of like these birch trees and a bunch of like all these colors, and they're raising money for Alzheimer's. So awareness. So part of like the proceeds from people like doing that, and people love paint nights. So that's a great fundraising idea if you'll ever want to do something like that. Good question. Any other questions? Perfect. Well, I'd love to come back again at some point. If you want me to do a paint night instead, like we could do that. And then, visit me on the website. I'll have links to the podcast if you want to hear it again, and and other stuff like that.